All Charlie Smith, Zhongbien Georgia Strait newspaper. It's a weekly newspaper in Vancouver, and I'm happy to be here with the audience with WOW TV. And joining me is Ishu Bianchi, Georgia Strait, and Janet will be here to talk about big stories in the arts and entertainment world. So Janet, here's a chance for you to give greetings to the...
I'm glad to be here too. Hi, everyone.
I'm going to start with a couple of business stories. One of them involves TELUS Corporation, which is the biggest corporation in British Columbia. And it is now trying, in talks at least, to take over another wireless provider called Mobilicity. And Mobilicity is a smaller company, and they don't demand contracts when people sign up to do the wireless service. And late last year, TELUS went to BC Supreme Court to try to stop Mobilicity from advertising this, that TELUS had a problem with the advertisements that Mobilicity was broadcasting. And they weren't successful. The judge said that Mobilicity could continue to advertise. And now this week, the Globe and Mail has reported that TELUS is now in talks to buy Mobilicity. And you can see the Mobilicity stores around Vancouver, and it's a smaller competitor to the big wireless companies like Rogers, like Bell, and like TELUS. TELUS has been one of BC's most successful companies, and if it succeeds in buying Mobilicity, it will become even stronger because Mobilicity has become a more powerful competitor in British Columbia, but at the same time, it's very, very small compared to TELUS. The other big business story, which has gripped the country, has involved the Royal Bank of Canada and many of the other banks, and this has come from them hiring temporary foreign workers. And what happened at the Royal Bank was they laid off 45 workers in their information technology area, and they hired temporary foreign workers. And the federal government allows companies to hire temporary foreign workers when they can't meet the labor needs of the economy. Well, the employees at Royal Bank were not happy about this, and they went to the media, and this has become a big story across the country. And now it's turned out that some of the other banks have also hired temporary foreign workers. The unions have threatened to withhold money from bank accounts, Royal Bank, like keeping their money in the Royal Bank, and have threatened to actually withdraw $1 billion worth of money. So late this week, what happened was the CEO and president of Royal Bank of Canada, Gordon Nixon, put out a letter apologizing to the workers. He says he's going to ensure that they retain jobs at the bank, and saying he's going to look at how they do contracting out in the future, and they're not going to move their call center operations outside of Canada. So this was a step back from the Royal Bank. Earlier in the week, they were maintaining that there was no problem and what they were doing was standard business. By the end of the week, there were websites across the country, a big national controversy. The Prime Minister had to speak about this, and he's now saying he's going to review the temporary foreign worker program. One of the criticisms that comes from the labour movement and others is that Canada's temporary foreign worker program does not allow people to become citizens. You can't become a permanent resident when you're a temporary foreign worker. So what a lot of people prefer is that people can actually get a permanent resident card and then become a citizen of Canada, and that's what most immigrants, when they come to Canada, that's what happens. But there are 300,000 of these temporary foreign workers in Canada, and this is a practice that's been used by European countries, particularly in Germany, but also in France and other countries. And it's been criticized because what it does is it creates a second tier of citizenship, that you've got one group of people, they immigrate to Canada, they get full citizenship, they can vote, they can participate in the country, and then the others, they're just here to work and then they're sent home, and it gives the employers a great deal of power. So I think the reaction on this story and the Prime Minister's reaction to it has sent a message that perhaps we'll see some controls imposed on the temporary foreign worker program.